Hi, welcome to Wikifiends. I'm your host, Joe.
I'm David.
And we're going to be reading some Wikipedia articles and giving you our opinions on them.
Yes. Wiki
so
wow.
Let's get right into it. The first subject I have is Taylor Mitchell. Taylor Mitchell was a Canadian country folk singer and songwriter from Toronto. Her debut and only album, For Your Consideration, received encouraging reviews and airplay. Following a busy summer performance schedule, which included an appearance as a young performer at the Winnipeg Folk Festival, Mitchell embarked on a tour of Eastern Canada with a newly acquired license and car. Having some free time before her next concert, Mitchell, an environmentalist who enjoyed nature walks, went to Cape Breton's Highlands National Park on the afternoon of October 27th. At 2:45, a couple going in the opposite direction passed her near the beginning of the Skyline Trail. For an unknown reason, she doubled back after going a short distance along the trail and came back down the access road to the car park. At 3:02, a hiking couple named Mike and Gail, by this time on the access road to the car park, moved out of the way and photographed two coyotes that walked towards them along the road, going in the opposite direction. Trent University's Environmental and Life Sciences graduate program and a research science for the Ontario Ministry of Natural Resources, Brent Patterson, later commented that the male hiker's photo showed two coy wolves were having an extraordinary lack of fear, with one having what verged on a dominant attitude towards humans. It is believed these coyotes encountered the oncoming Mitchell on the access road a few minutes later, when the couple heard what they thought could be either animal noises or screams in the distance. They reported the noises by a telephone at the car park. A group of 4 other hikers arrived in the car park, where they heard about the possible screams in the distance from the couple. After several minutes' walk along the access road, they began to find personal items of Mitchell's, including keys and a small knife, believed to have been used by her in an attempt to defend herself as she was forced back up the access road and onto the Skyline Trail. As the hikers turned into the clearing at the head of the trail, they saw torn pieces of bloody clothing and a large amount of blood along the ground. A washroom in the clearing had blood on the door. At 3:25, they found Mitchell lying nearby among trees, with a coywolf standing over her. It was only after repeated charges by the 3 young men that the coywolf could be made to move away from her. She was conscious and able to speak with the rescuers. The coywolf remained close by, growling and unafraid, until a shotgun was fired at it by a Royal Canadian Mounted Police officer who had arrived. Mitchell had been bitten over most of her body, with particularly serious wounds to her leg and head. She was taken to Sacred Heart Community Center, and then airlifted to Queen Elizabeth II Health Services Center in critical condition from the extreme blood loss she had suffered. She died just after midnight with her mother at her side. She's the only adult in modern history to have been killed by a coyote.
Wait, so this was Joni Mitchell, the singer?
No, Taylor Mitchell.
Taylor Mitchell. Okay.
Yes. She died in 2009 at the age of 19. So we have another tragic loss of a young life.
But she wasn't famous, though. She wasn't Joni Mitchell.
No, I don't think Joni Mitchell's dead. I'm saying another because on our last episode we discussed Greg Plitt.
Yes, similar vein.
Yeah, well, his was more of an avoidable thing.
Would you get these all from the list? Outrageous deaths?
I think I did originally find this through a list of of odd deaths, but the Plitt one was sheer happenstance that I came upon that. And this one I would regard as much more tragic since she's younger and it wasn't her being, at least it isn't framed as her being foolish.
Well, let me try.
And she, what?
I was just want to... No, go ahead.
Also, she's very beautiful, so I mean, that's another thing that adds to the tragic nature.
Would have been so much easier to take. She had been ugh. No, but...
She'd been what?
Would have been so much easier if she had been ugly.
I say, yeah, no.
But no...
Well, the Coyotes probably wouldn't have had an easy time if they were facing Greg Plitt.
Well, he was buff, but that doesn't mean... Well, he was good looking, but that doesn't mean he knew what to do with it.
No, he was an Army Ranger.
Oh, true.
Yeah. Enough about him, though. I'm not going to bring him up anymore. I just wanted a little bit of a...
Well, let me make sure I got the story straight. It's that she's this 19-year-old girl. She's on a trail. These two unusually dominant or kind of unafraid coyotes came up, and they essentially just like tore her ass down the trail until they pretty much found her. I mean, that's pretty much it.
Well, I wouldn't use that language, but essentially,
right.
They and it looks like she did put up a fight, or she tried to put up a fight.
Yeah, they found a knife and stuff. So yeah, she was pretty like she didn't go down. She didn't go softly into that dark night. She went kicking and screaming. So good for her.
Yeah, I think this one's a lot. It is very sad.
Oh, this is a real. Not to say like it's more of a tragedy when someone's not a celebrity, but like almost in like a way it almost is. It's like these stories about just a regular ass person, you know what I mean? Like it's terrible. Like it's just fucking shitty.
I mean, she's essentially, I mean, everyone's a person, every human is a person, but
right. But she wasn't looking for no danger. Like at least, what was it? Plitt? He knew that was a dangerous situation. I guess she kind of probably, she knows it's the woods and shit. But you're not trying to fucking like deal with that. I mean,
though. There's always a possibility when you're out in the woods that some animal could be there.
And she had a knife and shit. I mean, she probably wasn't thinking about it self-defense, but she did have something. Well,
yeah, it was probably. I would imagine it would be like a Swiss Army knife sort of thing.
Right, more of a tool.
It doesn't say specifically, but
Well, honestly, I mean,
very sad.
Well, go ahead.
No, I just said very sad.
I don't think I probably would have done much better than her. Be honest, like coyotes, dogs are rough, especially if they're feral or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, good for her. I would
like to have been carrying a gun at the time.
Well, no shit.
Yeah, but I don't think you can in. I think it's against the law in national parks.
Right.
In both America and Canada. So,
coyotes, right? Is the death by coyotes?
It says coyotes are coywolves, which is a wolf coyote half breed.
Wolf coyote. Oh well, hey, that's not just a coyote. Then there's some wolf in there, so it's got a little more strength probably in its jaws and whatnot. That's fucking like wolves are fucking deadly fucking things. Yeah.
No, that's a primal foe to man, I guess.
That's very scary. I'll have to remember that.
I know coyotes have been they've been making a resurgence in they had been pushing eastward from earlier in the 20th century.
Mm-hmm.
And they're around in my area. I saw one at Christmas.
And
I've been worried about my my cat getting eaten.
You should be, because wild animals, you don't know, like this. I think that there's something like a hybrid animal is something you think it's this. Oh, it's a coyote. I'll kick its ass, but then it's got some fucking biting power of a wolf because it's been out there in the wild. It's what I mean. It's like been interbreeding and shit, and that's shit you gotta, that's real, only experience gain type knowledge, I would imagine. You know what I mean? You can't really rely on. If you see an animal, you're not quite sure what it is. It might not be because you can't identify animals. It might be it's because it's some kind of fucking new animal. You know what I mean? Like,
well, even if it was just a coyote or just a wolf, I mean, that'd be scary enough. You know, it doesn't need to be a hybrid. You know.
Well, but I mean, but like, you know, you think, oh, it's this or that, but maybe it's got a little something more than you thought.
Would you say you would imagine it being less dangerous though than if it was just a wolf?
No, coyote.
No, but I'm saying, would you say just a wolf is more dangerous than a coy wolf?
I mean, I guess it probably depends, but I would say probably generally, yeah, it's a bigger animal.
Yeah.
It's more vicious. It's more used to bigger prey. It may have killed bears, you know?
So it's not just the fact that it's a hybrid, it's the fact that it's a hybrid with something that's more
bigger,
deadly. Yeah.
Right.
I was reading that two coy wolves adult coy wolves tend to average 30-something pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Two were observed in the wild killing a 400-pound moose. So
yeah, see, that's big. Shit.
Yeah, no, and you know, a moose is a deadly. I mean, they're regarded as a danger to humans. You know.
Now, you know, if this is
two of them took down a moose, so
if it's categorized as the first woman to die from coyotes, that's like selling her short a bit. She fought against fucking mutants and died, so she's
the first adult in modern history. There was a child in the 80s. So, but no, it's a very sad thing. So
it's
hopefully you have
terrifying.
Oh, what?
Terrifying.
No, well, I'm hoping you have something more uplifting that we can move on to, though.
I sure do.
All right, sounds good.
That was very interesting. A lot of interesting factors to that story. I like that one. I mean, you know, I didn't like it, but it was intriguing.
No. I reiterate, she's very, very beautiful.
Well,
I know that shouldn't make a difference, but you know.
Right. Well, all the more of a loss.
Yeah.
Well, let's see here. So, here's one you might remember. For younger listeners, may not even know about these things, but I'll give a little context. I have a little personal connection to this one. In the early days of the internet, there were these sites called shock sites.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a website that is intended to be offensive, disgusting, or disturbing to its viewers. They contain material of high shock value that is considered distasteful and crude. The content is generally of a pornographic, scatological, graphically violent, insulting, painful, profane, or otherwise provocative in nature. Some shock sites display a single image, animation, video clip, or small gallery, and are often passed around via email or disguised in posts. To discussion sites as pranks. It's like, yeah, everybody knows this one. You're clicking through an article and it's a guy's asshole. Woo. Steve Jones.
I'm familiar.
Yeah. Steve Jones. He's been around for a long time, you know. Steve Jones distinguishes these sites from those that collect galleries of shocking content, such as Rotten.com, as the menu sites must be actively searched for content. So, I actually a little bit disagree with this. I consider Rotten.com to be an early form of shock site because you could easily get linked to something on Rotten.com that had an equal effect as a Goatsy or whatever your later day ones are.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I did want to touch upon briefly types of shock sites. Because, I mean, this is from the main article on Wikipedia shock site, but they actually have a category called shock sites, and that includes stuff that I remember from as a kid, like Rotten.com, Ogreish, or Style Projects, which was my favorite when I was younger. It's kind of like, I'll just read. It's a website founded by Webmaster Style. The Style project was grown into a large network of countercultural, amateur adult entertainment, and current event news sites. They all pretty much had the same shtick, though.
I remember my freshman college roommate John was into that site.
Rotten or Style?
Style.
Yeah, Style. Style was a little more kind of like just like weird, freaky, but like Rotten was really, really rough. And Ogreish even more so. I feel like barely I ever went to that site, but I was aware of that site around the same period. Ogreish, if I remember correctly, was primarily death videos. Yeah, it's like a precursor to Live Leak. It's like unprecedented, uncensored news coverage and multimedia material based for the most part on war accidents and executions. It's like Faces of Death VHSs. I remember a lot of those going around back then too, like shit like that. Now I'll touch a little. Like Rotten was the big one. Like, you know, everybody knew about shock sites, but everybody knew Rotten. You know what I mean? At least I felt like that was my experience. Rotten.
That you were familiar. People were familiar with which site?
Rotten.com.
Okay.
I don't think I knew. Yeah. Like everybody's like, "Oh, you ever seen this?" But some of the shit's ridiculous. The other ancillary sites on Rotten included several Rate My style sites, such as Rate My Finger, Rate My Kitten, Rate My Boobs, Rate My Boner, and even Rate My Poo. So, early hot or not.
No.
I feel like this is very indicative of like a phase of the internet. I feel like is dated. You know what I mean? It's like, this was. I feel like this was like Trenchcoat Mafia years. Like this was the kind of stuff that was like Newgrounds, like Flash games and stuff. It's an odd subject.
Yeah, I was never really into any of that. I don't really like being
grossed.
Yeah, I don't really like being grossed out.
You'll listen to some of these legal matters. Like Rotten.com has been threatened with many lawsuits over the years, mostly in the form of cease and desist citations. These range from serious matters such as requests to remove pictures of dead relatives from the site, to Burlington Coat Factory asking Rotten to take down trenchcoat.org, which he bought as a Trenchcoat Mafia reference, but simply linked it to Burlington Coat Factory. It's pretty funny. No, I know, I don't know, I know there's, that's the thing, nobody remembers sites like these. There's even more shit like this out there than there's ever been, but at the same time, these were interesting things. They were all, they were like the sleazy motels of websites back then, they were just very, you're in bad territory,
What's the, does the article describe, its status today of these sorts of sites?
All right. Okay, yeah. The landing page on Rotten does not appear to have been updated since February 2012. So, it was founded in 97. Ogreish, the kind of the death-based one, looks like it went down. I like this. Launched 2000. Current status, no.
I like the mix of statuses.
Yeah. No, it's good.
both a time and then a yes or no.
I didn't even give their taglines. Rotten.com, its slogan was an archive of disturbing illustration. I guess photos, illustration. And Ogreish, its slogan was uncover reality. It's ridiculous. Oh, listen to this. Ogreish was targeted by hackers from Korea after they had uploaded an execution video of Kim Sung-il during the summer of 2004. That's really crazy.
By North Koreans.
I mean, I get the execution video of Kim Sung-il. That sounds North Korean. A Southern Korean interpreter who was kidnapped and murdered in Iraq.
Wait, Kim Sung-il. That's the father.
No, this was different. This was the South Korean who was killed.
No, that's. I think that's Kim Il Sung. Then I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was the South Koreans.
I mix up my Kims.
You know, that's kind of an interesting like hacking reason for like dignity. You know what I mean? Like,
sort of like a vigilanteism. Yes. All right.
So let's move on. So yeah, that was my topic. Shock sites. I like them.
Yeah, I was never super into that sort of stuff.
No?
No, I don't like being grossed out. And I never really liked, because I think a big part of it is like showing it to somebody else, you know?
Yeah.
And I never really and maybe it would be just a thing where I was like worried that they wouldn't. I think deservedly, you know, a valid reason is that I would think they would just think that I was a big disgusting creep, you know.
You weren't like,
which is,
you didn't have creep friends. You weren't like creepy with like certain people. Like, I feel like I know what you're saying, but like, you know, you wouldn't pull out rotten for everybody. It's just like your creepy friends. You know?
No, if anything, it would just be like me being weird, but not like not like creepy weird. Just like, you know, like
no, right,
acting silly, you know, which I find more enjoyable.
Well, let me say, like, from what I remember, how looking at sites like this, it wasn't. I mean, I guess there was probably a little bit of the like, oh, like, why don't you check this out? This will make you freak out. But it was also a lot of kind of just like looking at it together, like, oh fuck, what is that? You know, there's a little bit of a shared experience, just kind of like ooh, you know?
Yeah. I guess I could see it. I mean, I guess it's sort of like the same thing as like being in a group and watching like a horror movie.
Yeah. No, totally. No, like, but there is something like, you know, it appeals to juveniles. Like get real, yeah. You know, like what does like a fucking 12-year-old boy want to see? He wants to see fucking ass and dead bodies. Like, I mean, and they just in this fucking weird JPEG format back then. I mean, it was so appealing to kind of like a juvenile mindset.
Well, they still have JPEGs.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. These kids can look at fucking Rotten on their phones. There's like a Rotten app, probably.
Yeah, again, not my cup of tea.
Yeah, I want to look that up after this. I wonder what like if there's like a Rotten Instagram. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I guess 4chan is the thing.
Yeah,
people still use that?
I guess so. I guess you're right. It is a similar vibe, I guess. Yeah, it's probably the same era, really, you know. Oh, I don't fucking know, though. All right, you want to move on to the next thing?
Yeah, sure.
All right, it's your turn, and I have one more, and then I guess we'll get into the game and then our results.
All right, sounds good. Okay. My next item is German submarine U-1206. Now, the U-1206 was a Type VIIC U-boat of Nazi Germany's Kriegsmarine during World War II. Laid down on the 12th of June, 1943. Went into service on the 16th of March, 1944. After being commissioned, took part in training exercises until July of 1944, when he was assigned to the 11th U-boat flotilla. On the 28th of March, the submarine departed for Kiel for his first training patrol of the North Sea, and it began its active patrol on April 16th. Now, on April 14th, 1945, 24 days before the end of the war, while U-1206 was cruising at a depth of 200 feet, 8 nautical miles off Peterhead, Scotland, misuse of the new toilet caused large amounts of water to flood the boat. According to the commander's official report, while the engine room was helping to repair one of the diesel engines, he was informed that a malfunction involving the toilet caused a leak in the forward section. The leak flooded the submarine's batteries located beneath the toilet, causing them to release chlorine gas, leaving him with no alternative but to surface. Once surfaced, U-1206 was discovered and bombed by British patrols, forcing Schlitt to scuttle the submarine. 1 man died in the attack, 3 men drowned in the heavy seas after abandoning the vessel, and 46 were captured. It was undiscovered until the mid-1970s. Now, I guess again, it's not funny when people die, but I guess I find it funny, like, that you can imagine that at least some of the people on that boat were they had at least some point mentioned, like, for the glory of the Reich, or, like, blood and honor sort of thing.
Yo,
and then it just.
But there was still the disaster at Peterheads, though. Like, they drowned in feces. Wasn't a place called Peterheads?
Yeah.
Yeah, the fucking malfunction at Peterheads.
Uh-huh.
A bunch of Nazis drowned in duty.
Well, they didn't. It was more the chlorine gas that did them in, and then the literal bombing.
Well, it's not. No, like, I mean, it's true. There's probably Nazis on the boat, but there were probably just German citizens as well. So. Well,
no, they weren't German citizens. They were members of a military. So
German citizens.
They were citizens, but not civilians.
Right, citizens, but not party members, I guess is what I mean. Like,
well, they were active members in the military, so not civilians.
Right. But you could be in the military and not be a Nazi, like in your personal ideology, like.
Yeah, I don't know specifically.
I mean, I'm sure that the Nazis purged the military, but you could probably still, you know what I mean? You just keep your mouth shut, like. But I mean, still, they were the bad guys. They were the bad guys.
Well, not that it makes it good that, whatever their belief that they should die,
right? Necessarily,
but
no,
it's just funny to go from, possibly to go from the Reich shall last from 1,000 years to, like, oh, this goddamn toilet, But
R.I.P.
So it's well, it seems like only a few of them died. Also, most made it out to be captured.
Now, like, it's it's a terrible story, but I get what you mean, though. Like, it is kind of funny when, like, someone's like gets duty all over themselves for imperial honor. Like, it's just a big, like, juxtaposition.
I think that's you projecting what you want to have happened. I think it's more of a flooding issue.
Okay.
But not a drowning in bodily waste.
I mean, I thought you said it had something to do with the sewers the sanitation overflowing or something. Did I?
Well, the toilet flooded, and the flood got to the batteries that were underneath the toilet,
Mm-hmm.
And that caused a gas leak.
No shit.
It's just funny to be like to the notion of like a master race, and then you're foisted by a shoddy toilet.
No, like yeah, yeah, it's exactly like it's like I remember once I knew a guy that was like I'm a guru. He claimed to be a guru, but his toilet was broken. It's like, well, let me know when you get enough enlightenment to fix your fucking toilet, dude. Like, it's kind of like, it's a moot point, right? If you're the master race, how come you're floating, you're swimming with the turtles? You know?
All right.
Yeah. But
did you say turtles?
yeah, the turtlers. But
yeah.
wasn't it a thing with like Apollo 13, like fucking floating space shit, like fucking damaged the inside? I don't know. I don't think it was actual. I don't think actual excrement got lodged in a gear or something, or a space machine. I thought it was something like, I thought there was some kind of
well, they have special toilets that it like sucks onto their butt. Or they just might just have a special suit that they shit in. so it doesn't float away. Or maybe they
I'll wait till I get home.
Oh God. Maybe they might have NASA diapers, sort of a thing.
No, I've heard. I watched some how do astronauts shit in space? Like, you know, there's a million things like that for kids. I've definitely watched those before. It is something like it sucks out your butt or something, you know.
I think it sucks around the butt.
No,
and then,
dude, I definitely remember this. There was like spacesuits that had like a valve where you turn the valve and the piss just goes out. And I'm pretty sure that it's damaged.
Well, that would just be like a catheter.
It is,
right?
Yeah. Dude, but
they don't have like a tube in their anus.
No.
This like a vacuum.
This was for like the spacewalks, like when you go out to repair things or something. There was a thing made, I think you probably, when you spacewalk, like, you know, you do the moonwalk where you're out just in a suit, you know what I mean? You're not in a ship. Like, you probably shit in a diaper, and then there's this fucking knob that when you twist it, it makes all the piss drain out. And, like, for number one, that's scary, because, like, if malfunction, your dick would get ripped off through the vacuum.
Oh, God.
That's fucking scary. And number two, it seems like...
I'd want a fail-safe.
Huh?
I'd want some sort of fail-safe for that.
Oh, no, dude, like, I'd be like, just keep it in the suit. You know, I'll deal. But the other thing about that I find to be, it's like very cavalier. It's like, well, it's like, well, there's piss in space. Like, let's let it on. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm pretty sure it would freeze immediately and damage fucking the sides of the satellites and shit. Like, I'm pretty sure of that. Like, I'd have to source that, but.
Are you going to use this podcast to angle for a position at NASA?
Well, I am quite good at social media, if you're listening. So, but anyway,
social media and shit solutions.
Well, it's like, get real. What are they going to share? But all right. Well, fuck. I don't remember how we got here. It was
well, we were talking
the
about
U-boat.
The German U-boat.
Oh, that's right. Well, that's a very weird one. It wasn't, I guess you're right. It was just like, essentially, it was towards the end of the war, and a submarine from the Reich went down near England, pretty much, he said.
Yeah, off Scotland.
Off Scotland.
Yeah.
That's one of those ones, it's like, it's kind of like, I like ones like that. They're like mildly interesting. It's like, there's probably died of feces floating around. Like, It's kind of like it had a little twist, but it's pretty much just like a fairly like regular historical event. You know what I mean? It's like a wartime tragedy.
Yeah, it's a
maritime tragedy.
It's a minor chuckle.
Well, I mean, were they attacked? Yeah, something went wrong. Like it was a maritime accident. It wasn't like war, right? Like,
well, no, it was World War II.
No, but it went down because of an accident, not because they were bombed or something.
Well, they specifically went down because they were bombed.
Oh, they went down because they were bombed. Okay, so it was a result of. I see. It wasn't just
they had to surface because of the gas leak.
I see.
And then, because they couldn't, I guess they couldn't breathe, so they had to come up and, I guess, open the windows or whatever, open up the thing. And then when they were above the water line, they got bombed.
Go up! It stinks in here. All right. You ready to go to my last one, and we'll get to the games?
Yeah, sure.
All right. I'll try not to keep too long. So, my last article is a symposium. It's a social custom in ancient Greece. In ancient Greece, the symposium, meaning to drink together, was essentially a drinking party. Literary works that describe or take place at the symposium include two Socratic dialogues, Plato's Symposium, Xenophon's Symposium, as well as a number of Greek poems, such as the elegies Athenaeus of Megara. Symposia are depicted in Greece and Etruscan art that shows similar scenes. The equivalent in Roman society is the Latin convivium. In its modern usage, has come to mean an academic conference or meeting of some such scientific conference. Let me get into this is why I find this interesting. Like, I mean, I guess essentially it's just kind of like what is it, like a debutante ball almost for men or something. But in the classic Greek, symposium was a key Hellenic social institution. It was a forum for men of respected families to debate, plot, boast, or simply revel with others. They were frequently held to celebrate the introduction of young men into aristocratic society. Symposia were also held by aristocrats to celebrate other special occasions, such as victories in athletic and poetic contests. They were a source of pride for them. So, I mean, I guess it's a little bit like tailgating too, there's a little bit of like jockish like tendencies. Or it's like an album release party or something. It's not even like, symposias were usually held in the adron, or the men's quarters of the household, the man cave. The participants or symposiists would recline on pillowed couches arrayed against the three walls of the room, away from the door. Due to space limitations, the couches would number between 7 and 9, limiting the total number of participants to somewhere between 14 and 27 men. Oswin Murray gives us a figure of 7 and 15 couches and reckons 14 to 30 participants to a standard size for a drinking group. So it's pretty much like a birthday, or like not even a popular guy, but like a regular guy's birthday, essentially. If any young men took part, they did not recline but sat up. However, in the Macedonian symposia, the focus was not only on drinking but hunting, and young men were allowed to recline only after they had killed their first wild boar. Food and wine were served, entertainment was provided, and depending on the occasion would include games, songs, flute girls, or boys, slaves performing various acts, and hired entertainment. Symposia were often held for special occasions. The most famous symposium of all, described in Plato's dialogue of that name, was hosted by the poet Agathon on the occasion of his first victory at the theater contest of 1416 BC Dionysia. According to Plato's account, the celebration was upstaged by the unexpected entrance of the toast of the town, the young Acaligabades, drooping and drunk and nearly naked, having just left another symposium. It's so fucking stupid. The meta part of the symposium would discuss a multitude of topics, from philosophy to love and the differences between genders. It's just very like early boys club shit, or like Elks Club or something. That's what it feels like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, yeah, I guess.
Does it have a modern correlation?
It's considered a part of the history of wine, parties. Let me see. Well, in the modern usage, it's usually kind of seen as much more academic. In modern usages, come to mean an academic conference or meeting, such as a scientific conference. But, you know, the old plates, the old Greek plates show a slave attends a vomiting symposius. You know what I mean? It was much more like lewd, I guess, at one point.
Yeah, like I guess like business. You'd only ever hear like a business symposium or a scientific symposium.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wait, listen to this. I forgot. I've read this article before. This part's very bizarre. They had these special rules about proper and improper drinking at these things. A symposium would be overseen by a symposiarch, who would decide how strong the wine for the evening would be, depending on whether serious discussions or merely sensual indulgence were in the offing. The Greeks and Romans customarily served their wine mixed with water, as the drinking of pure wine was considered a habit of uncivilized peoples. However, there were major differences between the Roman and Greek symposiums. A Roman symposium served wine before, with, and after food was served, and women were allowed to join. However, in a Greek symposium, wine was only drunk after dinner, and women were not allowed to attend. The wine was drawn from a crater, which is a large jar designed to be carried by two men and served from pitchers. Certain formalities were observed. Among the most important were the libations, the pouring of a small amount of wine in honor of various deities or the mourned dead. In a fragment of his 375th BC play, Seminole or Dionysus, Ebullus has the god of wine, Dionysus, describe the proper and improper drinking. For sensible men, I only prepare 3 craters, one for health, which they drink first, the second for love and pleasure, and the third for sleep. After the third one is drained, wise men go home. The 4th crater is not mine anymore. It belongs to bad behavior. The 5th is for shouting. The 6th is for rudeness and insults. The 7th is for fights. The 8th is for breaking furniture, and the 9th is for depression, and the 10th is for madness and unconsciousness. In keeping with the Greek virtue of moderation, the symposiarch should have prevented festivities from getting out of hand, but Greek literature and art often indicate that the 3rd crater limit was not observed. They had a lot of attempts to rein it in, but never very successful.
It seems like a thing that would make a like a comeback, like a.
Well, I guess it's for like fucking fraternities. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like a thing that would like be like a historical reenactment for like a fraternity or for like some sort of group that would do it ironically. You know, they would have the like the pomp of it.
Oh, that sicks me out. Because I like the concept of them. I feel like there's this great energy to it, but it's totally is just a fucking. This is just frat as fuck. Like, it's ridiculous. Ugh. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, it seems more like the thing that you would like the idea of, but not the actual practice. And I mean you specifically.
No, you're right. No, but like when you read it, there's this implied like control of it. Like it's just like, oh, you're just like you're laying down listening to flutes. Like, but like that's not. It's probably not what was going on. So, Like I like the idea like of a party, but yeah, absolutely much more on paper than the real thing. Like everyone's having fun. Like, not true. Okay, so you want to get to the game?
Sure.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Are we doing the gay one?
Yes. So I guess it's just you going to be asking me stuff now.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm pulling this from from Wikipedia's list of gay, lesbian, and bisexual people.
Cool.
And I'm gonna be focusing on the J's, the J names.
So how does this game work?
I'm gonna name a person, and I'll give you what they're famous for if you need that.
Okay.
And then I will ask you to guess if they are straight or gay or bisexual.
So you're going to give me a little bio, and I'm going to try to determine their gender or their orientation from one of three options. You're
probably gonna know who they are just from the name.
Okay.
If not, I'll fill you in.
Okay.
All right. First person is Janis Joplin.
Bye.
That is correct.
Easy.
I know she dated Pigpen for a little bit from Grateful Dead.
Now, like,
all right.
She looks like pretty chill. I could see that. All right, what's next?
All right. The next name is Rashida Jones. She's an actress, and she was on the show Parks and Recreation.
You know, I want to say straight, but I'm going to say bi. I think I know this. I could be totally wrong.
False.
She's lesbian. Oh, I thought I knew.
No. She's straight. She's not on the list.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Conjecture.
Yeah. The next name is Jim Jarmusch.
Jim Jarmusch.
He's a director. He did Dead Man and Ghost Dog.
Fuck. Yo, because, like, man, you pick pretty good ones, because, like, I could honestly see that guy. You know what? Like, I feel like I'm going to be wrong no matter what, but, like, I feel like I've seen, like, Dead Man, and I feel like that guy is either, like, painfully straight or, like, super gay. I'm going to say painfully straight.
He's straight.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah, I knew it. I fucking knew it. Next.
And the last one on Wikipedia's list of gay, lesbian, or bisexual people, possibly, is American comic artist Phil Jimenez.
Oh, yeah, he's gay.
Yeah, I know. I gave you an easy one.
He was your teacher.
I know. But it's funny. It's funny that he's on the list. You don't. It's funny, like anyone you would know being on Wikipedia, but then also being on a Wikipedia list.
I mean, he's on for like cartoonists, right? It's not just like fucking LGBT. Like, I mean, it's his thing. He's a cartoonist.
No, I think you have to already be on Wikipedia to be on Wikipedia's list of gay, lesbian, or bisexual people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't, because they're not going to just have my brother or something.
Right. No, like
it's got to be a person that's famous, because otherwise it would just be a huge list.
Wait a minute. So you're saying there isn't a huge list of straight people on Wikipedia?
No, that'd be pretty good though if you could just if it was easily accessible to all.
There should be.
But
and like,
oh, maybe we should start making it.
There'd be so much controversy. He ain't straight.
Well, it would probably like I mean, Wikipedia has that thing where it's harder to edit people's living people's information, sort of a thing.
Right. No, you see, that's the interesting thing about Wikipedia to me. Like, I like it when they get super broad with the categories. Like, it would be very interesting. I mean, they kind of do get pretty broad. Like, they'll say like descent, like nationality and shit on an individual basis. Like, it's pretty fucking anal retentive. Like, I love that. All right, you ready for the results?
Sure.
All right. Do you want me to go with mine first? This is pretty good.
Well, this is our Wikipedia 6 degree of separation game.
Yes, we're doing it differently.
So,
yes.
you can lead off.
So, we normally play it on air, but this time we played it prior. So, we're just going to give the results. So, mine was Chelsea Clinton to diarrhea.
Yeah.
And when I saw your text message that said Chelsea Clinton, I thought it said Chinese crackers at first. And I was like, what the fuck? All right, so let's just get this out of the way. Obviously, the way you're going to solve this, you're going to get from Chelsea Clinton to diarrhea in 6 articles or less through Bill Clinton in the Monica Lewinsky scandal. Let's just get that one out the way. So it's Chelsea to Bill, to Lewinsky scandal, to semen, bodily fluids, feces, diarrhea. Bing, bang, boom.
All right.
And but
all right, that was.
All right, I'm not done.
That was pretty good.
I'm not done. I'm not done.
All right.
Sorry. It was so easy that I had to do it another way. So I went from Chelsea Clinton to Gramercy Park to fellatio, semen, bodily fluids, feces, diarrhea. And I found.
Can you do it without the semen link?
It's like, you don't even, why bother? It's just there.
All right.
No, it was Tucker Max got a fellatio in Gramercy Park. You remember that fucking guy? Like that, he's like an internet, like manly man type thing. Like, oh, I fuck this.
Who is it?
Tucker Max.
I don't know who that is.
He's like a gonzo, like, I'm bloody, bro. I'll show you how to fuck them bitches. Like, he's just like kind of like an early like masculine type writer.
And did he get filleted by a woman or a man?
Well, you have to buy the book to find out. I have no fucking probably.
Okay.
I did find some interesting things along the way though. While I was doing this, some articles I will definitely read later include fellatio in Islamic law. And this is the excerpt.
It's allowed, right?
In Islamic literature, no. Wait, just listen. The only forms of sexual activity that are considered explicitly prohibited within marriage are consistently explicitly prohibited within marriage are anal sex and the sexual activity between during menstruation cycles. However, the exact attitude towards oral sex is a subject of disagreements between modern scholars of Islam. Lol.
I would say it's not a prohibited thing though.
Well, it is anal in menstruation is definitely prohibited by text.
Yeah.
But the exact attitude is under debate. And this was interesting too. Like, I like the phrase, I'm going to definitely read the article later, technical virginity, which it's kind of funny. Very social on things. And also the fruit bat, Cypernius sphinx, has been observed to engage in fellatio.
Yes, I've heard that. And I think Wikipedia might have a video on that.
Ooh.
Possibly a VOG file?
Include the link in the show notes. So how about yours?
All right. So here's my link. I was tasked with King Tut, also known as Tutankhamun, to Albert Fish. And how I got it was I went from Tutankhamun to genetic testing to DNA profiling, capital punishment, torture murder.
Mm-hmm.
And under list of torture murderers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down is Albert Fish.
Very good.
Right between H.H. Holmes and Mad Sam DeStefano.
Very good.
Yeah.
That's good through like the CSI. Pretty much.
Yeah, I took I had to redo it a couple times because I got messed up at, I took a couple wrong turns at one point, but I think it's under 6, right? I didn't count.
No, that sounds about right. That wasn't that many.
All right, well,
very good.
I think it's about time we can wrap it up. So I'm Joe.
I'm David.
And this has been Wikifiends.
Good night.
Bye.